Greetings. I'm Dr. Amy Morgenstern, founder and CEO of Blue Stars Admissions Consulting, where personal growth leads the way to top colleges. And I'm here with my good friend, Jin Chow, co-founder and chief operating officer of Polygence, the world's premier project-based learning platform that pairs students with PhD-level mentors to do research, career discovery, and passion projects. Jin and I have known each other for years. Many of Blue Star students have worked with Polygence over the years as well. We love Polygence. And Jin, I just loved your recent Forbes article comparing the earning power of STEM and humanities majors. Your findings are quite surprising.
Thank you so much, Amy, and thanks for having me. It's something I've long wanted to write, so I'm excited to be chatting about it today.
I'm excited to be talking about it. And for our audience, the title of Jin Chow's article is Myth or Fact? STEM majors are inherently, I'll do that one more time. And for our audience, the title of Jin Chow's article is Myth or Fact? STEM majors are inherently more valuable than humanities majors. And it can be found in the October 26th online edition of Forbes magazine. We'll drop the link to the article in the video notes for easy access. All right, well, let's dive in. Jin, your article powerfully challenges the view that humanities majors earn less than STEM majors. Can you summarize your main point for us?
Absolutely. So I think the first main point is that majors are actually a very poor predictor of what line of work students end up pursuing. To give you an example, of all the students who major in the field of English literature, around 6-ish% of graduates end up entering the field of law, and their median salary is over $100K US dollars. Whereas around the 8-ish% of graduates who major in English, who then enter the field of, let's say, early childhood education, their median income drops to around 50K. And so there you see that majors are a poor indicator of the field of work that students go into, actually.
And it really depends on what field you go into after you graduate from college for humanities majors.
Exactly. And the second point that I make in the article is really that we need to do a lot more long-term thinking. The New York Times recently published an interesting piece that really shows that any earnings advantage that STEM majors hold over humanities majors and graduates actually fades by age 40. And there are two main reasons that contribute to this. First is that technical skills tend to become obsolete quicker as younger graduates enter the workforce and these skills evolve with time. And the second thing is skills that humanities majors gain through their undergraduate studies are actually a lot more durable.
Interesting. It's fascinating that the earning gap between STEM and humanities majors closes by the age of 40, which is these days quite young. So can you expand on the reasons behind this and how it connects to a liberal arts education?
Absolutely. So to give you a little bit more of a concrete example, technical skills like coding, computer languages, AI, etc., are evolving so quickly that they also become obsolete much more quickly. Someone who did a computer science degree, let's say 10 years ago, would have had to do quite a bit of upskilling and continuous education in order to still be competitive in today's market. And now the opposite is true for the humanities, where people skills, communication and verbal skills, writing skills, charisma, empathy, teamwork, all of this are very, very durable skills that don't evolve that much as time passes. And so even thinking about my own leadership role right now at Polygence, what are the skills that I draw the most upon? It's communication, it's writing, it's speaking, and change management. And those are the skills that the liberal arts education that I had in undergrad gave me.
It's interesting, communication and people skills. These are the skills that get better the more you practice them. It's sort of like aging fine wine. And humanities majors or people who get a liberal arts education, they get more practice of this stuff at an earlier stage in life. And that's in some ways what puts them at this advantage when it comes to career advancement later on. So tell me, Jen, what are the soft skills that employers look for, and how are these developed through a humanities or liberal arts education?
Yeah, so we actually looked at a 2018 survey done by the National Association of Colleges and Employers, where three attributes or soft skills, as you call it, stand out when it comes to evaluating college students for potential positions after they graduate. And these three are written communication, problem solving, and teamwork. A couple of the other soft skills that made it into the top 10 desired skills include taking initiative, verbal communication, and also leadership. And these are all echoed by a memo that was published by the US Department of Labor, which further adds networking or people skills to this list of soft skills that are, quote, key to the success of young workers in the 21st century. Now, these are really timeless skills that are important no matter what line of work a potential employee eventually enters, whether it's lab research, whether it's journalism, or something else. And how are these skills actually honed in the humanities? Like you said, it's a misconception that these skills are only honed in the humanities, but it is true that within the humanities, students get exposure to these skills and develop them much faster and at a much earlier age than in STEM fields. So whether it's group work, intense seminar discussions, frequent writing of analytical and argumentative papers, reading and distilling and summarizing large amounts of information, understanding the nuances of texts and different points of view. And I think the most important thing too is engaging and solving very ambiguous problems that often don't have a clear-cut right or wrong answer.
It's often the case that my STEM students say, well, I like math because the answer is clear. And I like to say, I want to introduce you to problems where the answer is unclear, because that's what top colleges are really interested in. So, for STEM majors too, the more they participate in these interpersonal or ambiguous problem-solving aspects of their field, the more they will be successful in their own STEM careers as well.
Absolutely.
I have one last question for you, Jen. You yourself have taken a path from the humanities to entrepreneurship. How has your background in the humanities contributed to your success?
That is a really good question, Amy. I think actually I owe a lot of my success to my empathy. And literature actually is what really gave me the superpower of empathy. I've always really loved stepping into the shoes of characters, really imagining being in a different historical context. And my literary studies throughout the past 10, 15 years is really what I think incited that ability and that passion in me. And I think empathy is what makes me a particularly effective communicator and leader in my leadership position in the company, whether it's being able to figure out what motivates each team member, understanding how and where to drive performance, how to offer feedback to each individual in a way that lands well. And then the second thing is also concision of communication, both written and verbal. I've had years of training to understand how to craft an argument, how to weave in evidence, how to distill and summarize large amounts of information in the form of précis and abstracts. And these skills are all extremely important to my day-to-day job now, whether it's, again, writing performance reviews or summarizing information for the team to grasp and consume, or propagating a new but maybe complex point of view or argument that the team needs to understand, or summarizing and justifying an important business decision that we need to make. Communication is really, I think, the Achilles heel of every single startup and company, and being able to nail that is key to effective management.
Yes, communication to me, it's a form of energy. And I feel like I'm trained in philosophy. So my training in philosophy, it has given me the ability to explain complex ideas clearly, which actually helps me get students to do hard things. And then my training in ethics has also helped me tremendously when I'm working with students on the personal growth that they need really to get into top colleges and to succeed in college and in life. So that has really helped me train my team as well to set this personal foundation for our students as they go forth in life. And then my training as a fine artist has given me the power to blend creativity with a systematic approach to advancing high school students to their fullest potential. So that translation from art and humanities to business is real.
Absolutely. And I think that kind of cross-pollination makes the work that people like you and I do that much more interesting and rich as well.
So interesting. Well, thanks so much, Jin, for this enlightening conversation that separates myth from fact on the earning power of STEM versus humanities majors. It is such helpful information.
It was my pleasure, Amy.
Well, let's talk again soon. And I think that we can agree that if students follow their authentic intellectual passions and hone their professional, interpersonal, soft skills alongside in their field of study, they'll go very far.
Absolutely in agreement with you.
And you can find Jin Chow at polygence.org. You can find me at bluestars.us. And we can't wait to talk to you about how to carve a path to the right college education for you or for your child. We hope you get in touch and have an awesome day. Take care.
Take care.